Hey there, Dango Stu here. Today's video is about making various improvements to the boat, getting OpenCPN installed on the Wheelhouse computer, and is proudly sponsored by MarineEngine.com. Alright, heading back to the start of the week, the first thing I got fixed up was getting the Rocna anchor attached to the Savwinch. This is our Rocna anchor. Sorry, I don't have my magnetic mounts at the moment, just the head strap, because I'm going to do some metal detecting, so hopefully this isn't too wobbly for you. 20 kilo from Brett at Ocean Solutions. Thank you, Brett, really appreciate that. This is the swivel that Brett sent me as well, which is a Kong swivel. So we're going to undo this, get it attached so we connect our anchor to the chain with the swivel, and we'll get it lowered. Because somebody's on my mooring. Well, it's not mine, it's public, but it should be mine. The swivel comes with its own Allen key, conveniently. This front part that goes on the anchor is keyed like this and can only go on in this complete opposite orientation. And once it's swiveled round, it's keyed in here. And then this part, which already has some lubricant on it, goes here.
We're down to 2 meters again.
Oh, okay, can you just back us up? A little bit of Loctite on the bolt, as per the instructions. Do it up. So maximum rating on this shackle is 2,000 kilos. Alright, that should do it. Looking alright. So what are we in? We're only got a couple of meters under the keel. Probably only got about a 3-to-1 scope at the moment, but to be honest with you, it is a very calm day. Finally got our Savwinch paired up with the Rocna anchor and pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. This is the box for the Kong swivel, 316 and 8/12mm, made in Italy. I've bought a couple of handrails I'm going to put onto the awning. I figure great for holding onto and somewhere just to hang a towel, dry towel, that kind of thing, after diving and swimming. Got my ridge cap folded by Spraycraft up at Somersby, so thanks to Roy for doing that. Hard to get big single rivets that hold these in, so I'm actually going to bolt all the way through the awning to do these. So let's just mark them, drill them. Haven't fixed the drill yet, so let's see if it blows up or not, but I figure it's not healthy. If it dies, we'll fix it. Alright, let's just measure a center point. This was about 700, 350. Keeping it low for a couple of reasons. One, easy to grab. Two, you can put the towel through more easily. The other is because we're bolting through and there's no internal sort of bracing, it'll crush this bit of 3x2 less. Alright, nice. That afternoon Howley turned up in Delstar so we could just keep each other company while we did a bit of maintenance.
Keep going. Go ahead a bit more. What? Go ahead a bit more, yeah.
Say that again.
sort of lifts the spirits to see another man in the bilge not being alone. Ben's coming back in a couple of days to help me finish up getting the computer ready in the Wheelhouse. So I'm just running some power. I've got a bigger inverter coming on order, but I'm going to install a cigarette lighter socket so I can use a small inverter that Leon gave me just to power the computer while Ben is here. So I'm just going to rub a bit of dishwashing liquid, I think. Can't find anything else, just to lubricate it a little bit to get it through this conduit. Which one do we want to be in? This one. That was tricky. Anyway, we got it. So, alright, let's put some spade connectors on here and get these wired up. This is the cable coming up. Use the larger yellow female spade connectors to piggyback off and get the spade connectors for the second socket. So let's hook these up, screw this down, give it a test. Fortunately, the polarity is written on it. Very kind of them. Pedley and Eddie heading home. Alright, let's get this last one on. Another job I did recently was swap out the 6 fuse holder for a 12 because we were getting way too many circuits on the 24 volt panel. This one, however, is on the 12, so we got a couple spares still. So pop a fuse in here, see if we've got power in our sockets. Look at that, we've got power. Power at the inverter. Let's see if the confuser comes on. I have no idea what this computer would draw, but it's coming on. Yay! Thank you, Leon. So this is awesome. This is where I need to be for tomorrow morning when Ben comes and gives me a hand getting this set up to do lots of cool boat stuff. Beautiful morning. Here's the resident blue-tongue lizard enjoying a bit of morning sun, aren't you, mate? If I lie really still, he won't see me. Too late. Anyway, enjoy the sun. Just heading over to Brooklyn to pick up Ben, and he's going to give me a hand finishing up with the computer. Plans to get a bit of software installed, OpenCPN, things like that, useful for boating, and get the internet working, get the 4G dongle working on the computer. So you go back to settings. If you do update software, does that maybe give you any clue as to check online and Wi-Fi settings? Yeah, kind of a cheats way to get there.
Renko.
Lovely. Hide the password. How do we look out here? Look out here. Oh, no password. No. While Ben types in the secret password, we're going to just go to a mooring here at Gunya Beach. Hopefully there's no one on it today, being a weekday, although it is nice and sunny. Wind's due to come up though. Test the awning again.
Alright, so she's connected.
Nice.
But no internet, we've got to recharge the car, that's all.
Okay.
Alright.
So we can just put that and get power from the computer though now, or?
Yeah, if you want.
May as well.
So, leave it in there permanently, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've updated that. That's OpenCPN installed.
Nice.
And now I'll get charts.
Uh-oh, someone on the mooring. That's alright, we might just drop the anchor, which is now actually working. You can see Vicky and I anchored at Gunya the other day, plenty of mud here, and a little bit later, maybe a day or two, our viewer Alex sent me a deck wash. And it was just an amazing coincidence and very appreciated, so thank you, Alex. But what I also have issues with is the bow spread. I'm taking the anchor off when I go back to the mooring, put the mooring here, thinking what I'm going to do is do 2 fair leads very close to it, so they're, you know, nice and tight to the bow rather than right over here like this, and extend, put the roller. But we're going to anchor again now, so wind at the moment is a bit of a nor'wester, so I think we will go in towards the beach. 14 metres, we'll get into 4 or 5 metres. There we go. I know, it's nice. It's luxury. That should do it.
So the thought process is that you have to first of all download your charts. So the website you go to download your charts is called OCharts. Search for that, it'll bring it up, and you can pretty much get any
And this is all around the world?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the Australian vector charts there. If you click on that, it charges you in euros and converts it over.
Gotcha.
But you get 2 licenses, but yeah, you get all the maps all the way up, including Papua New Guinea.
Oh wow, nice.
Right. I will save that. So it'll show you what charts you purchased. That's the order purchase number, what I bought, and then when we upload the charts onto this, it creates a unique system ID for this machine.
Right, okay.
So you can't then copy the charts to something else and whatnot,
okay.
and so that'll appear in there as this machine.
Yeah.
Right. So once you've purchased that, you need to go into your settings for this, for OpenCPN, and you go charts. And you go to vector chart, chart downloader.
And was that a plugin you installed or that's standard?
Comes with.
Comes with, okay.
You go to chart downloader, select catalog, which one is it? Oh, sorry. OES ENC charts. And refresh chart list. What it will then do is ask you for your login to OCharts. You punch that back in again and it goes in and
right, it talks directly to OCharts.
and downloads it. So I think it's about 800 meg.
Wow.
Contacting OCharts server. There we go. Alright, so select a system name. We're going to go new system name. And it's going to be called Renko, obviously. Okay. So I believe that what that will do is it will create a system identifier, a unique system identifier for this computer. My chart sets. Okay, so then I've got the Australian vector charts. I'll click on that and click install selected chart set. All things being equal, you should then download them
straight from the site. This is a GPS receiver that I just got on eBay, 20 bucks or something. I'll put a link to it if I can find it again. So this is what we're going to use for now to give a GPS signal to the computer. Are we now? How are we off for
Crossed fingers.
Yeah, well there was. So Ben did some research on which GPS receivers were compatible with OpenCPN, and I had already ordered this because I always jump the gun. But it was pretty cheap, so no great loss. But I think we're going to need, so when I plugged it in, it detected it, and then I think it tried to install drivers, but we didn't have internet when I did that, so I stopped. But
the houseboat that was on the mooring left and the wind was really starting to pick up, so I raised the anchor and we headed over to the mooring. Seeing the anchor come up gives you a good idea why I need to remodel the bowsprit.
So our charts have finished downloading.
So theoretically, watch and see what it does. Unzipping. Ooh, how exciting. If we see red lines turn up on everything.
Yeah, right. That's when we know it's got charts. Yeah.
Gee, there's some charts in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
What I could do.
Yeah. Well, every little square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Dangar Island. It exists.
I was wondering where it was.
So I wonder if we zoom in any further, if we actually get
Nav aids and...
Yeah, I don't know. I have to work out how to work the touch.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so there's these starboard marks we're talking about with that shallow section over there, so we're good.
Is the island the correct shape?
Looks close enough for me.
So let's shut it down.
See if we get the GPS working.
GPS working.
So, the GPS driver installed, and it said it was COM3, was it? So
yeah, so if you come in there...
COM3, it's on there too, yeah.
And you'll see it's up there.
Yep.
So, somewhere in here, we should have to go to connections and serial port,
okay.
so board rate 48.
Although you can probably change that, it looks changeable
So there you
too.
go.
Oh, look at that, even turned up.
The receiver, hopefully it's the right
Excellent.
protocol.
Yeah.
User comment, I have no idea what any of that does. Let's just try it.
Oh, we've got a position.
We have a position.
Nice.
There you go.
Look at that. Excellent. Us ducked out of the nor'wester wind.
So it's got your
Yep.
speed over ground is now working, and your
everything.
lat and long's working as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Happy days. Let's go for see if it tracks.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Because the tracking's turned on.
Let's do it.
So all things being equal. Still recording. So yeah, you can see the track coming out behind it.
Nice. Yep.
Zooming, but you have to figure out how all that works.
And your projected heading, that's nice. That'll be good for searches. Very good. I reckon have that there, and then have your sounder on the Raymarine. So somebody's monitoring whether you've missed a bit or you're going over the same bit twice. Anyway, just dropped Ben off, so huge thanks to you, Ben. Really appreciate it. It's so nice having that, the computer that's very versatile from entertainment and navigation point of view, and a complete backup to the Raymarine. So we've got some redundancy now as well. Spent a fair bit of time on the mooring with the engine off, computer on, running on the inverter, Raymarine on, battery's still at 100%. Chairs blowing off the deck. Awning's not even moving. I'll have to buy one of those little anemometer or whatever they're called, wind speed meter. I can look up the forecast speed, but it'd be nice to know what it really is right here. Police are over at the island too. They often act as a patient transport for the ambulance. Hopefully everything's okay. Got to get in Red Dwarf now and go to shore. Might just sit here for a bit, see if it calms down. Actually, I'll look at the forecast in case it's going to get worse. Another little improvement that got finished, a bit dirty now because I've been using it, is just this lid for the footrest, where I keep a variety of stuff. This is oil for the hydraulic steering, there's a little funnel in there for that, a few things that I'm planning to use soon I'm keeping here because it just keeps them somewhere close to hand. But this was just a seal box. In a boat this small, I don't think you can waste a space like this. You need all the storage you can get. I can definitely neaten this edge up a bit more. The original lid was glued on, unfortunately, but yeah, just really happy to have that little bit of extra storage. Also, during the week, I went down to Sydney and saw Ian and his son Sam. They're both coincidentally friends of Nick's, who we did the metal detecting with last week, and I picked up 4 ingots of lead, which should be heaps now to get us, you know, back to where we were with the concrete I removed ballast-wise. Next week, I'll get that lead down into the bilge. Might need to trim it slightly, just no big deal, and then we might all sort of brainstorm the best way to secure it. I'm about to run up the road because the new inverter has arrived. Before I do though, I'm going to drill this bit of timber and put the pedestal on it, because I can take this up and get it covered while I'm there. The reinforcing fiberglass is going to have to be on the top, because he's going to want to staple the underside of the vinyl into the timber, not into the glass. So let's just quickly rebate these slightly so the bugle head screws don't stick out. A little bit more. This is just one of these drill bits. Pretty good for this job. It's occurred to me that I'm not going to be able to get to these heads, which is fine. I can tighten them up now, Loctite them, whatever. But if anything goes wrong down the track, I can't really get to these to stop them spinning. So I think what I'm going to do, I think it's going to hurt, is try just fill some epoxy around them, then I'll tighten them, which will hopefully mean they sort of get locked off and I can undo the nuts even though I don't have access to the heads here. Give it a good stir, coop it in, see what happens. So just lifting the bolt up, trying to get it down into the hole under the head, around the thread a little bit. It's definitely gone down the hole a little bit, which is good. So just put a little bit more in. Here's the finished product now. Once I tighten the nuts up here, I then filled in the head. Once I finished tightening them, I just filled the heads with epoxy as well, so that it'll lock into the, you know, the Phillips head here. So hopefully that'll stop it rotating. Kind of tempting to put another layer of glass on top, because then this just pure epoxy won't really fracture at all, as far as I could say. So I think that'd be the most secure, but maybe we're just taking this all too far. Anyway, ready for covering. Well, thanks for watching. I'm really happy with the progress that got made this week. Obviously, huge thanks to Ben for making the trek up to Sydney to help me with the computer. It's going to be really handy for a whole lot of things. The main thing I'm thinking is that when we're doing the searching, we'll have the Raymarine full screen with the sonar, the side scan sonar, and the chart on the computer showing where we've been and where we're planning to go to do our searches. So I think that'll work really well. Paul and I were actually planning to do an anchor recovery this weekend, but it's still blowing pretty hard. We'll see. It might be okay, but it might put that back a week, unfortunately. Failing that, I intend to get stuck in, finally fix all this ratty ceiling and get the internal lights and the nav lights all wired up again. Alright, we'll take care and I'll catch you soon. See ya. The path is blocked. Have you hurt your leg even more, or are you just having a rest? No, you're just having a rest. It's alright, Davey. Stay there. I'll chuck you some food. You're protecting your pile of seed from the cockatoo, are you? Stay away from my seed. It turns out that Daffy fights the way I play poker,
Bet big on the flop, check the turn, fold the river.
Get him, Jack.
Go on, Daff. Give him a...
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Meanie. Oh, Daffy.
You.
Now you know how Daisy feels, Daffy.
Yeah. That's not for you. Bugger off. Go on.
That's pretty funny. The cockatoo scared Daffy off. We scared the cockatoo off. And the king parrots have just come to eat everything. Good things come to those who wait.